I remember the volume. You can hear the music, now you hear the volume. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Jeff, the Unlicensed Therapist. I think we're cooking now. Miles Davis, of course. All right, we're about ready. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Jeff, the Unlicensed Therapist, everybody. I actually was a good boy tonight, and I checked my sound just to be sure I wasn't, just spewing into the void, essentially for an hour. I hope you know about the show. If you don't, let me tell you all about it. Jeff, the Unlicensed Therapist, that's me. And I give free, solicited. Technically, the advice is solicited, or how would I know to give it to you? But it's no cost to you, completely unlicensed. It's clear, it's concise. It's not beholden to any, governing body of psychiatry. All right, let's get started, folks. If you have a question or problem, something you want advice on, you just put it in the comments. It's that easy. You can also do it the roundabout way, where you just kind of drop it in the comments after the show, or in the under the video, and I can go back to it and answer it the next day. However you want to get your advice, I'm here for you. I'm a one-stop shop. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the first one here. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my wife's birthday food plan after her sister got mad about her fiance's nut allergy? Like, how bad a nut allergy are we talking? We talking like asphyxiating and dying? You got to have a EpiPen with you. That's maybe they can make a case. Let's check it out. Let's check out Mr. Nutty Potato here, Nutty Buddy, as he's known in the industry. It's not known in the industry as that. I want to share this so we can all see it and all enjoy. If it's legit, like it seems like that's something you should probably do. Like, how much do you like nuts? Like, are there a lot of nuts in cakes? I don't know. I don't feel like nuts are a big issue at a birthday party. I don't feel like there's a lot of nuts in frosting. I don't feel like I'm a big fan of the pecan pie. I mean, what's going on here? What's the issue? I feel like you could get a cake without nuts. Let's check it out. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my wife's birthday food plan? All right, so it's your wife's birthday food plan after her sister got mad about her fiance's nut allergy. All right. My wife's turning 42, and for her birthday, she came up with a fun, low-key idea. Our family, me and my wife, 15-year-old daughter, our 11-year-old son would stay home. Each build, oh boy, this sounds like a lot of work for them. Each build our own themed board, charcuterie, fruit, candy, dessert, chocolate, etc. All right, so usually a charcuterie board, from what I've seen, in my experience with charcuterie boards, which is extensive, there's a nut. There's like a little bowl of nuts. Why? You know what you do? The little bowl of nuts, you get rid of it, and you put in something else, a cookie, an Oreo with no nuts. I don't think it's that big a deal. She wanted to include her older sister and her sister-in-law's fiance, together 20 years, so they're not new. Engaged for a little over a year. Well, they've been together 20 years, and they're only engaged now. Very interesting. So we invited them to come over and bring their own platters too. All right, everybody brings a platter. Hey, you know what? It's your birthday. You have fun. If that's what your wife is into, let her make her charcuterie board. Let her live the charcuterie dream. And I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, by the way. I make no bones about it. I'm sure that's not pronounced remotely correctly. But put up with me. All right. So let's see. Here we go. So for context, sister-in-law fiance has a severe nut. Okay, if it's a severe nut allergy, you can't have nuts. That's just it. Unless you want to kill the guy that she's been with for 20 years. Granted, it wouldn't kill him to have married her a little sooner. He's still on the fence about that, apparently. Okay, he cannot eat nuts, but he can be in the same room as them. Airborne isn't an issue. Oh, then you can have nuts. I've seen him around nuts numerous large family gatherings over the year. My wife's family is of Lebanese descent. So traditionally, holiday spreads, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of them have nuts. And he handles being around. So the guy's fine with nuts, basically, is what you're saying. However, whenever the two of them come over to our place, our food options are strictly limited to Domino's or McDonald's because those are the only two places he trusts regarding cross-contamination. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, most people, they just don't give a shit. I'll be honest. I don't blame him for that. If you just need one time where you almost die and suddenly you're really concerned about it. We've happily accommodated this for the 16 years my wife and I have been married. All right, great. My daughter texted them explaining the theme so they knew what to expect, noting that while not everything would have nuts, a few things and personal items would, but obviously you've already said he can touch them and all that. Sister-in-law got upset. She called my wife to say they won't be attending because clearly we don't care about potentially putting him in harm's way. Here's the solution. Your sister's way overreacting on this, just based on what you've told me about him being able to handle nuts. That's what she said. That's why they broke up. I'm kidding. But as far as nuts go, you just have them chew off their own charcuterie board. They're bringing their own board, right? Just put in big letters, write their name on the board. This is the nut free zone. And then, they're worried about cross contamination. Just eat off your own damn board. It's not a complicated thing. Your sister's creating a lot of drama. I'm guessing she won't be much fun to, be there anyways, because she's going to make the whole thing about herself. I say just respect them not wanting to come and say, I'm sorry, it didn't work out for you. Next year, you can, you know what? Next year, or here's an idea. I don't know if you're up for it or not. You do it this way. You say, listen, we so respect and we don't want any cross contamination, so much so that we would like you, we're going to invite a few more people anyway, but we'd like you to cater the whole thing. You pay for it and you get what you like. How about that? That a good compromise? Otherwise, stay home. Seriously, like, come on. She's really a bit of a pill, a peanut pill, isn't she? A little bit. So she got upset. Yeah, she said she went on a complete guilt trip. Surprised how hurt she was by our lack of consideration. While she admitted we've accommodated his allergy for 16 years, she made it clear that this time they'd rather just take my wife out separately another day. Let him do that. Why do you want these nut hating fools to come? I'm kidding. Obviously, they got a reason, but still. Now my wife feels guilty and hurt. Well, that was the intent of her sister's acts, and stressed on her own birthday. My daughter also feels bad because she sent the text. I'm angry. Yeah, they're being douchebags, man. They really are. You want to have some fun. Say, how come I went to the wedding date? Have you finally given us a real wedding date after 20 plus years? Are you two just shacking up and living in sin? I'm kidding, but no. I'm angry. This is my wife's idea for her day in our house. He doesn't have an airborne. I have a feeling that the guy that she's pawning all this off on him doesn't care one way or the other. I mean, he does, but I don't feel like he's really the guy like, oh, I can't believe it. I think it's her. I think she's making the issue. I think there's a sister dynamic here going on. And it really, the nuts is just an excuse to make her sister feel like shit and exercise control over her sister, even during an important event like that sister's birthday. That's my gut response. I don't think the guy is that worried about it. I think he knows enough like to eat his own food. You know what I'm saying? Like I bring a bag of food and I eat that and I don't trust anybody else. So yeah, I don't blame him for being angry. He doesn't have an airborne allergy. They've invited to bring their own safe boards. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Safe board. Say you've heard of a safe word? He's got a safe board, and nobody's forcing them to eat from ours. Exactly. I'm so on your side. I feel like after nearly 2 decades of catering every single family meal to his restriction, your wife doesn't like that her sister, your wife, is finally breaking away from her totalitarian control. I really feel like the guy is out of the loop on this. Like, I don't think she's even told him about the party. You know what I would do? This is what I would do. I would talk to her husband directly. I would figure out just get his details from you may already have them from your sister or for your wife, and contact him directly. Hey, is this okay with you? I guarantee you, he's not in the loop on this. This is her sister being a douche, trying to exercise just control over her for whatever childhood trauma that caused that. That's what's going on right here. Believe you me. Anyway, catering single family, exact birthday dinner she wants in her own home by being, it's just that. That's what it is. It's all about control. Am I the asshole for putting my wife's birthday wishes first and head of the entire menu board around her brother-in-law? No, you're not. Not at all. And again, don't blame the brother-in-law. I feel like this is all the friggin', this is all the sister. Hey, Upon the Rise, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Oh, how was the Creation Museum? Oh, wait. Went to the Creation Museum today. Going to Noah's Ark tomorrow. Oh, that's cool. It's 1 a.m. there. I would love to do the Ark thing, man. I love doing all that stuff. I would totally go to the Ark. I think that'd be fun. I'm never in Kentucky. I've been to Kentucky like twice. I got nothing. I like Kentucky. The 2 times I went there, I went to like kind of something along those lines where I think they tried to do an Ark museum, but never really happened. Branford, Missouri. But I went when like the only one playing was Yakov Smirnoff. Nothing against Yakov, but I didn't want to see Yakov. I wanted like some Dolly Parton, the Righteous Brothers, the Osmonds. I'm like, oh, come on, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be a fun week, fun weekend. I had the weekend off. I'll like roll in the Branford and see like a bunch of shows. And I think they had an arc there at the time where they were trying to build it was like something along those lines. And it was just off season. So the only thing playing was like Yakov Smirnov and um I don't know, a bunch of stuff that just didn't interest me. And I was bummed. I was really bummed because I've always wanted to go to Brampton, but I want to see like people I don't think I can see anymore, because they're all too old. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Going to go to Brantford and see some young upstart? Maybe. Oh, I want to go to Dollywood, I don't know. That wasn't open for some reason. I'm not even sure that's there. I think Dollywood might be someplace else. Like, go to Dollywood. And it wasn't even in Brantford. I don't know where Dollywood is exactly, but I would go. I went to Elvis's place. That was great. Memphis. If you haven't been to Graceland, go. It's a trip. It's worth the going. Here's a quick little hello from Rumble. By the way, let me get this one out. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's a post. The part most people miss: crypto was created so you can actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money and delaying transfers and limiting access, you are in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today. Everybody's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and it makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. Thank you. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. It's Rumble Wallet. It's right there. Get in the game already, everyone. Hop on that. Have a good time with it. It's right there. Click, scan, whatever you need to do. Make it happen. Thank you, Rumble, by the way, extensively. All right, Rumble Wallet, everybody. Let's get back to what we're talking. Yeah, it was great. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I love that stuff. Oh, I know. This show we have fun. We pivot. We tangent. It's a community. So let me just for fun shows in Branson right now. Like, what's in Branson right now? I was seriously bummed. You have no, like, I'm not joking. Like, I was like stoked to go to Branson. All right, here we go. So we got Dolly Parton's Stampede. What is that? I don't know if I would go to that. Is Dolly Parton in there, or just Dolly Parton throws her name on a Stampede? Hold on a minute. There's David, obviously David from the Bible. With Dolly Parton Stampede, I don't know if that's not interesting. I'm sorry, I don't think I do that one. Reza, he's a magician. The Revolutionist, meh. Shanghai Circus, meh. Anthems of Rock, meh. Six, meh. The Hay Gods, meh. ABBA Tribute, New Jersey Nights, New Jersey Nights. Hamner's Unbelievable Variety, no. Nashville Roadhouse, Branson's Famous Bald Knobbers, no. Dublin's Irish Tenors, maybe I might do that. Oh, Bee Gees cover band, okay. Yeah, none of this looks. I got to be honest. I would not be happy with any of these. All the bands I want. It's all just now. It's all just cover bands of people I would have seen back in the day. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. One more thing, real quick. Where's Dollywood? That's what I want to know. That's where I would go. That's where I would spend my hard-earned dollars. Dollywood is in. Where's Dollywood? Come on, don't make me hunt. It's in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I would do that. Yeah, skip Branson, go to Dollywood. Why not? All right, let me get back on track. I'm sorry, I'm all over the fucking place. All right, so no, that person is not the asshole. The sister has been a manipulative, controlling. I won't use the word, but person for probably the entire existence of those two. That's the dynamic, and she ain't quitting now. She's laying on that guilt train, full court press. You bust this up like a bunch of bowling pins. Stop it. It's enough of the nonsense. All right, here we go. So good for you for standing up for your wife. Right. Am I the asshole for not inviting my childhood best friend to my wedding after she never RSVP'd? Well, I mean, who is like, wait, not inviting? What do you mean not inviting? You invited her. She just didn't RSVP. All right, I'm gonna just clue you into some stuff. Sometimes people, I mean, did you email it or did you send like an invitation? Sometimes invitations, believe it or not, really do get lost in the mail. Sometimes people's lives get a little crazy and like, oh, that's from so and so. I'll check that out, and they put it down here, and then it gets buried under stuff. And then a year from now, they're like, oh my god, what was this? You know, give them a little credit. Like I don't know, for a best friend, I would think you would communicate a little more often. And an invite to your wedding would have been a phone call and not a just an invitation. I would assume you would have made her the maid of honor or something, or so have her as a guy have him stand. That's a phone call. So best childhood best friend, maybe you were not friends anymore. I don't think you've talked to him in a while. Let's see what it says. Maybe I'm wrong. I always like to guess ahead of time before I read it. You're 27, childhood 27, who is extremely close with growing up. Again, what are they going through right now? Maybe they need this, but they're going through a shitstorm of stuff, and maybe your wedding invitation, and you haven't spoken to them in 20 years, is not the most important thing on their list, but they still like to go. As we got older, obviously our lives changed, and we weren't together constantly anymore. See, I told you. She also had a habit of disappearing for weeks. I believe that's called a binge, usually a binge drinking, disappearing for weeks at a time between messages. I wasn't completely unusual. I told you. She would sometimes not respond to me for weeks, so it's not out of character while still posting on social media and even liking my posts. Okay. Normally, I was okay. I guess you're not anymore with it because whenever she actually came back, she would apologize and reiterate her friendship is important. This is what she does and just continue our conversation as if nothing happened. Last year, I got engaged and told her. How'd you tell her? She responded immediately on Facebook or something, was happy for me, and I asked her to be my maid of honor. Okay, so you did ask her that. She asked me about the wedding. Just a weird question. Like you said, you're not super tight with her. Why would she be your maid of honor? Don't you have anyone else who you think would better suit that role? Just the maid of honor's got a lot of responsibility to it. I think you're organizing a lot of stuff. You're making sure things go smooth. You're helping the bride out. And yet the person who you decided to make the maid of honor is probably, as much as you're friends and you like her and you grew up with her, the worst person in the world, a disappearing artist. Why? It's a really poor decision on your part in terms of a hiring, which is kind of what you're doing, of a maid of honor. You should never have made her your maid. You should have made her like a bridesmaid. You probably spooked her, like all that responsibility. She's like, I might mess it up. You scared her. You caused her to run off for a month this time instead of just a couple weeks. Who you do is maybe someone who's not your best friend, but a friend or a family member who's responsible, who's got all their ducks in a row, who's good at organizing things, who runs a tight ship. That's your fucking maid of honor. I mean, if your friend is kind of a half-ass, but they're your best friend, okay, yeah, you make them. But if they're completely not up to the task, you don't make them the maid of honor. Anyway, she asked me about the wedding-related things, and I told her that she could choose whatever dress she wanted as long as it was red. She never responded to that message. I figured she'd seen it and just hadn't gotten around to it. Why don't you try calling? Then months went by. Well, you're screwed. I said a month. This is months now. I started sending her occasional wedding updates, but my messages remained unread. Okay. This was frustrating because these weren't just random conversations anymore. They were updates about the wedding. She agreed to be the maid of honor. Again, this is kind of on you for making her the maid of honor based on her history. This was a poor choice on your part. It just is. Now you still got time. Get rid of her. You can make her make her a bridesmaid. You still like her. Just make her bridesmaid. If I go, listen, I realize this might have been a little overwhelming. It's my bad. I didn't mean to give you all this and put this on your plate. I don't know what's going on. And I don't think you know what's going on in her life, I'll be honest. Because you talk about her disappearing for weeks, but you never explain why. You don't know why. I don't know how good a friend you're being to her, quite frankly. But yeah, get a different maid of honor. Come as a bridesmaid. Maybe she shows, maybe she doesn't. But again, I don't know a lot about what kind of boyfriend she's going to bring. What's her plus one situation? You might want to find that out too. All right, so she still did. The deadline passed. She never responded, submitted an RSVP. I don't really think she's coming, quite frankly. I just out of shame for fucking up the MOH thing. About 3 months before the wedding, my partner, just say husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. It's annoying. I had an issue that required us to postpone the wedding. There you go. I let her know it wasn't happening, and she responded immediately. Yeah, probably, thank God, This also stung because it was clear that my previous messages were blatantly being ignored. She's not comfortable with the maid of honor role. You get it through your head. Once we chose a new date, we sent out notices to everyone who RSVP'd, and I decided to keep the guest list to the people who actually responded. Okay, that seems fair. Since my friend never RSVP'd and hadn't responded to my message and hadn't communicated with me about the wedding at all, except when it was bad news, I didn't invite her to the rescheduled wedding. Honestly, I think she's fine with that. I mean, she's going to be a little hurt. If I were you, I think it's kind of a douche move on your part. It's really kind of your fault on this too. Why would you make her the maid of honor? You know she can't handle it. Just invite her as a bridesmaid, and just one time send her one invitation. Hey, you know what? It was too much pressure for you. I'm sorry. Come as a bridesmaid. Great. She shows. She doesn't. She doesn't. And then get a competent bridesmaid, a maid of honor. Okay, so I got married, posted pictures afterwards, and she commented with a shocked emoji. I didn't respond. Yeah, you. I think you're the asshole in this, and I'm sorry. I know it's your day, but you got to realize your friends. Well, your friend is your friend. There's certain friends are good for certain things and can handle certain things, and you were petty in this. You're petty in this. Come on, it's on you. I understand that I probably could have confronted her directly and asked what was going on. You think like a phone call instead of just emails, your best friend? Maybe I should have told her explicitly that because she had an RSVP'd, I was no longer including her. It's petty, but at least she could have had her say. But at the time, this wasn't one missed message. There were months of messages unread, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Honestly, I think, you guys aren't really that great friends anymore. You were at one point, but you're really not now and haven't been for a long time. And the fact that she's still considered your best friend and you made her the maid of honor makes me worry more about you than her. There you go. So am I the asshole for not inviting her to the rescheduled wedding? Yes, you are. Or was I wrong for not confronting her first? You shouldn't have given her the gig in the first place. It was stupid on your part. Sorry. That's the truth. Tough love. Tough love. Reach out to her and apologize. Explain it all to her. I don't think you will. There you go. There you go, folks. Tough love night tonight. Some nights I'm soft like a feather. Some nights I gotta come like a hammer. But this is a situation where this girl has issues, needs help, and you as a friend don't seem to be providing that. You're holding her to unrealistic standards that she has proven throughout your relationship as a friend that she's not up to. And to expect different just because you want to, because that's what you want to happen, is not a realistic viewpoint, in any way, shape, or form. It's like, hey, I got my friend's a raging alcoholic, but I want you to run an AA meeting. We're going to be doing it next Tuesday. I usually run them, but I need you to do it. Would you be able to? They might say yes because they're drunk at the time, but was it a good idea? No. And then they show up and they're wasted. They throw up. They probably wouldn't show up at all, let's be honest. And then I hold it against them like, oh, I can't believe you got wasted, you alcoholic. I can't believe you stuck with your character and your vices. All right, there you go. So we had one non-asshole and one asshole. Let's see who number 3 is. A tiebreaker coming up. See if they're an asshole or not. Am I the asshole for being mad at my mom right now? Yes, because my mom is not doing well, and so it's blatant countertransference. So just yes. Yeah, I shouldn't even read it. But no, there's some shitty moms out there. There's good moms and there's shitty moms. I think there's way more good than shitty. And shitty, yeah, because of trauma and this and that. But just from a quantitative standpoint, on a scale, shitty. Let's see if this is one of them shitty moms. I'm not saying they didn't go through stuff. I'm just saying, the product itself, what they offer in terms of matronly affection. Hello. So this happened like an hour ago. Oh, it's a new one. How long? Oh, this is an hour ago. Usually the ones that they just put up get taken down, but we got it. And it's a short one. Let's dig in. Let's get our knife and fork out and stuff a napkin down my shirt. Hello. So this happened like an hour ago. My mom's 44. She came into the room, asked if I, 21, wanted to go to Walmart with my sister and grandmother. And I said, yes. Okay. Sounds like a nice little day out, get some stuff. We got into my car. I was driving. My grandmother was in the passenger seat, sister behind me, and my mom behind my grandma. I've already lost track of where everybody's sitting. I hope this isn't really important as far as the story. So literally 2 minutes into the 15-minute drive to Walmart, my grandmother starts complaining that my driving is making her nauseous. All right, hold on. I guess the configuration does come into play. All right. All right. Okay. So you got in the car. I was driving. My grandmother was in the passenger seat. Okay. So passenger seat. I was going to say if she was in the back, put her in the passenger seat, but she's in the passenger seat. She's an older woman. She might just get nauseous. Don't take it out on her. Come on, man. Nauseous as I'm driving down a street. Should I? Okay. So she starts complaining about my driving is making her nauseous. She says, I'm driving down a straight street. Should I add? But she was laughing, so I thought it might be a joke. Okay. So I pressed the gas pedal twice and you're all laughing. I mean, I don't know your family dynamic, but it sounds like something funny. And we're all laughing. And your mom sounds like she's in on it, the grandma. And my mom decides that she's going to slap the absolute shit out of my arm as I'm driving. Mom overreacted, I guess. And I might have been wrong, but I said this. I'm sure you were wrong because you already said that you were before. Oh my fucking wait, what'd you say to your mom? Oh, you fucking bitch. Oh, that is not good. That is, and by that has nothing to do with the slap. That is a lot of pent up stuff from your childhood, and just the dynamic between you and your mom. That was just the catalyst to let it all out, pop the cork, and just let out your true feelings, so to speak. Drunk or getting slapped while you're on the road. That's two ways to get your real feelings out sometimes. And she told me to watch my mouth, and I followed it with "hit me again" and "watch." Wow, well, you went from like a fun family to a real white trash family. Not the. I go to Walmart. I go to Walmart with my stepsons and my and abuela and my fiance. No one's slapping the shit out of anybody or threatening to. So I guess what this smart woman does? She hits me again. Yeah, you sound like a white trash wagon at this point. Uh, all this while I'm driving. Yeah, you guys got some issues. I don't know, man. I don't know. So I pull over and we get into a hole. Well, at least you pull over. So you're not going to crash into any innocent bystanders or vehicles while your family squares off and dukes it out in the middle of the 405 or wherever you are. And she's telling me you're going to knock out your two remaining teeth. What? I'm kidding. But no, it's sounding a little white trashy. I just telling me that she's never going to joke around with me again because I always go too far. Yeah, this is all your stuff just happening to come out on a trip to Walmart. When is it ever okay to slap the shit out of someone while they're driving? She tells me to drop her off at home so she can drive her own car the whole ride back. So you did drive her home. You should, at that point, yeah. All right. She's going on about this and how I always do that. I can't take jokes and how she's never ever going to play with me again. How old are you again? You're 21 and she's 44. Well, the good news is you're out of the house, or you're about to be, or you should be. Mind you, she's done this before. Yeah, I bet she has. Now that I think about it, every time I drive with her in the car, she's always has some reason to slap my arm while I'm driving. These aren't light slaps. You need to stop driving anywhere with your mom. That's normal. You one of two things. Nothing good's gonna come of it. If every time you drive with her, she's slapping you, one, you're gonna get in a heated argument, actually really come to blows. Two, you're gonna get so angry, you're gonna lose control. You're gonna hit a pedestrian, you're gonna hit a car in front of you, some other innocent bystander. I think I'm good with two. Those are your two outcomes. There you go. I mean, the third one, I don't know. It's just a variation of one and two. So she sent me a shitty apology like 20 minutes after it happened, saying, "Sorry, I thought we were playing. I'm not playing." Yeah, I mean, you guys need family therapy. That's what you need. Bottom line, get a family therapist, work through the issues that have created this tension between you and your mom, and her need to constantly hit you, to strike you. Yeah, fucking get that done, man. Yeah, you guys. I mean, like I read Walmart, but I'm like, I go to Walmart all the time. I like Walmart. I have fun. You get some good deals, Sam's Club, Costco. I like all those places. So I didn't automatically go white trash, but as soon as you guys started fighting in the car and squaring off outside, I'm like, but now. Get out the, I was going to say ukuleles, banjos. By the way, full disclosure, my sister plays the banjo and she lives in the sticks. How about that? She's a good banjo player. She is an amazing. Now, she does not fight in the car, as far as I know, unless it's been hidden from me. All right, let's keep going. Rocking and rolling. Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole? Oh, brother, boundary. Invisible boundary. Yeah, that's the thing. Girlfriends, significant others have a lot of invisible boundaries, and you don't know they're there until you cross them. And then you're like, okay, there you go. And let's be honest, sometimes those boundaries change 180 degrees depending on the day. Welcome to life in a relationship. I, 27, have been dating my girlfriend, 28, for about a year. Picked her up after work one night and had dinner with her and her family. Oh, that sounds nice. After she was tired and wanted to go home, so I drove her home, and I went home myself. At this point, everything was normal and I had a good time. Oh, that's the worst. You think the evening's great, everything's going good, and then you're like, oh, somehow you fucked up, but you didn't even know it. While I was on the way home, my friend, both dudes, all right, you're 27, both dudes. Ugh, no, it's not convenient. Shortened is F1 and F2 for convenience. There's nothing convenient about that. Now, the rest of the friggin' thing, you're an asshole for doing that. For that's for convenience. F1 and F2. Ugh, you're the asshole. Frank and Jerry. Just come up with a couple of names. Watch. You're gonna have to be like F1 plus F2 equal carry the 5 equals 67. Well, I was home with my friends, both dudes. Short is F1 and F2 for convenience. Sorry, I'm supposed to promise my fiance I was going to be nicer to the people on Reddit, but it's just annoying. It's a pet peeve. Countertransference, classic. I asked if I wanted to play some board games at F2's house. Yeah, just Billy's house. Just look at this shit. I said I'm tired. I don't feel like driving all the way over there, but I'm down if we're doing it at my house. So they agreed. F1 came over. What are you going to name their girlfriends? H2, and then his really a sweaty girlfriend H2O. F1 added that there's this girl he's seeing who's also coming along with them. So that's 4 of us. Me, F1, F2, girl, and just fuck off. You're an asshole. Dude, I'm not reading any more of this shit. Like fucking hieroglyphics. Just give me some names. And like I like how you F1, F2, and girl one. Ugh, asshole. You're the worst asshole of the night, just for the way you write. Again, I promised my fiance I was going to be nicer. What are you going to do? Am I the asshole for telling my wife that our dog is not the same as a human child? Yeah, you kind of are. Like, is she having issues with like maybe pregnancy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like people love their animals, and even if they're not the same as a human child, to them maybe they are. Why does your world? Why does how you view the world have to be exactly how they view the world? No two people view the world exactly the same. No two people have this I love my dog. Is it human? No, but do I love my dog? Yeah. So I don't need you to fuck off. Let me pet my dog and get some licks. As long as I didn't watch her just lick her ass. I don't want anything to do with it for a couple days after that. Anyway, am I the asshole for telling my wife that our dog is not the same as a human child? It's a douche move. It's just unnecessary, bro. For starters, brother, you love your dog. Yeah. But I'm an intellectual, and I know that there's a difference between an animal and a human, and so she is dumb for going over my boundary for what that is. I create this arbitrary boundary, and she went over it as to her level of affection for this thing, and so she is wrong. Come on, dude, stop it. We're all different, Stop. This is the biggest issue I think people have. And the reason for most fights is everyone has their rules for how things are supposed to be and when something is wrong and when something, I mean, there's obviously, the 10 commandments and things like that. Those are pretty cut and dry. But when you cross the line, and everybody's line is different. Everybody has a different line. And we have to keep that in mind, that my line is different from your line is different from your line. So we can't say everyone, if you cross my line, you're all wrong, because why am I right? Why am I not? Come on. Anyway, for starters, but by the way, if you cross my line, you're fucking wrong. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, that's kind of what this show is about. But listen, I'll let you prove me wrong. But I come on. I'm straight shooter from that. All right, so here we go. For starters, 25 male, love our dog. Yeah. He's the cutest little thing. Yeah. And I treat him no less than I would treat my son. Well, who's the one with the issue? You or your wife? He spends most days with me since I work from home. However, my wife, 25, is next level obsessed with him. It sounded like you're obsessed with him from the way. And I don't, what's wrong? She thinks of him as her child and expects everyone else to do the same as well. All right, well, let's prove it. A conversation came up recently where my parents had forwarded a picture of my nephew, and she started questioning whether my parents would do the same with our dog's picture. All right, yeah, okay, that's a bit aggressive. Yeah. Um, all right, you know what? I was so because I love dogs, and I was so on her side, but that's yeah, that's a step too far. But you need to know what's going on. Like, what's going on? Does she want a kid? You don't want to have a kid? That could be it. Does she want a kid, but she can't have a kid? Does she want a kid, but she's afraid she's not going to be a good enough mom or that the world's too crazy to bring a kid into? And so she instead pours all her energy into a dog. Sorry, I was against you and now I'm for you because that is a step too far. I told her she was comparing apples to oranges, her expectations of my parents treating our dog as their grandson. I would like to know there's a why here that we're not getting. And I think you know the why and you're not sharing it for whatever reason. And if you're not even concerned about the why, then you have an issue too. There's a why here that needs to be addressed. Her expectations of my parents treating our dog the same as a grandson, comparing him to my nephew, was childish. One thing led to another. I told her dogs are not the same as children, and she cannot expect people to treat them both the same. It's too aggressive. Like she's gotten some issues, man. You got to like kind of kid glove her a little bit. You got to be like, why are you? I don't know why you wouldn't know already. Like you're in a relationship with her, but I don't know why are you so fixated with the dog, like as if he was a child. You know what? You get some information. Don't just insult her and tell her she's an idiot, which is basically what you did. The whole argument feels childish to me. And this is not even our first argument about something like this. She has constantly been insecure in every way since my nephew was born, and constantly. So there's some of the reason she has not produced a child. They did. She wants to play too, but she doesn't want to have the kid or can't have the kid for whatever reason. And so she wants the same level of attention for a dog, which she's not going to get. Um, there's a lot of information you've left out, and because of that, I really can't give you a full synopsis. I don't think you're the asshole, but you gotta give me more information to work with here, buddy. Compared to our dog, even though my parents love our dog, yeah, it's there's a lot there that you're either ignoring willfully or just not sharing. One of those two. One of those two. You decide. You decide. All right. Yeah. Sorry, the asshole. No, but get her some help. For real. Get her some help. Get her some help. G, get H, get her some S, GHS, SH. I don't like it. All right, we'll keep going. Am I the asshole for telling my parents they are ruining my autistic sister's social life? Let me see. Let me see. So all of you should know because I talk about it all the time. My son is on the spectrum. He has autism, and I do a show. It's going to be well, as soon as I get the flyer, I'll put that out. But it's going to be at a university on the 22nd. I'll give you more information if I find out people from outside the university can come. Hopefully, another one also in September, and I've got kind of like 6 or 7 on the bubble. I'm hoping to tour everywhere with this. It's a 45-minute show, Q&A after. It's comedic, it's real, it's raw. It talks about autism acceptance, and never just not to give up. You can accomplish anything with your child, but you have to work. You have to work. Fucking lazy asses need not apply. 25, I 25, you're 25 and autistic. Is that what 25A stands for? Have long stopped talking to my parents. Wait, I don't know. 25 adult? What's A? What the fuck is A? I don't know what that is. I still visit them, check on my sister and my dog, family events. A few days ago, I introduced my girlfriend's sister to mine. All right. Both are 13 females. Okay. So they're young. How old are you again? 25. They bonded instantly. I was glad to see them getting along. It was lovely. Those things start going south, though things started going south later on. I asked my parents how things were going with my sister. They began complaining about her mood and attitude. That's fair. I thought before they went into detail, they complained crying spells, chronic irritation, loss of appetite over social isolation. She just goes to school and shuts herself in her room. Repeat every single day. Okay, that's not good. I told them they should check on her or try helping her somehow. Yet they tell me it will fix itself. It won't. You know what I literally just said? Lazy asses need not apply. Those who are in denial, those who, or whatever your reasoning is, the end result is the same. Your fucking kid suffers. I don't have a lot of sympathy for you if you take that route. It's a coward's route. And so, yeah, the kid suffers. Someone needs to get in there, or they need to hire somebody, or have the state often has programs to go in and help this kid. I don't know if the kid's autistic or not, but at least get her to see a therapist. Just fucking shit parents. I'm amazed you turned out as well as you did. Anyway, you might have to do your parents' work for them. I hate to break it to you. Anyway, it just frustrates me. When I went to her room, I found my girlfriend's sister comforting my crying sister, not quite knowing what to do. I told her she could leave for a moment for us to talk. I spoke to my sister, asked her what's been going on lately. I know it's been 13-year-old can be very tough. I think you meant to write. She began explaining that she had lost all her friends because of my parents. Ugh. She explained she had made friends perfectly fine, which she struggles a lot with already. But as time went on, they got closer, and with that came hangouts outside of school, taking the bus. Your parents are going to micromanage her right into a psychosis. Taking the bus to go to shops, food places, their house, etc. Perfectly fine. But my parents do not like that. They told her she cannot go to their house. Yeah, well, she's 13. She's kind of young, anyways. I'll be honest, but if you trust the parents, they should let it happen, or vice versa. Have the kids come to their house. That solves the problem. Told them they cannot go to their house. Invite them to our house. What fucking assholes your parents. Meet them outside of school or anything to do. So yeah, they're totally isolating them until she's 17. Again, just arbitrary age, just random, just arbitrary. My sister told me that somewhere along the line, she had trouble connecting with the little time they have. Misread references from hangouts she couldn't go to. Friendships overall decline. It's a horrible. They're ostracizing her when the opposite should be true. What your parents should be doing, and I don't know their reasons for not doing it. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to talk to them. But what they should be doing is if they're that scared of her going out, which she's 13, okay, is have the friends come to their place. The fact that they're not doing that makes me just so angry. My parents explicitly told her they hated her friends. Well, I mean, I don't know anything about her friends, but to hate all of them, blanket, and refuse to get to know any of their parents. Yeah, not even a single effort in sight. Yeah, they suck. In a fit of anger, I told my parents they were setting up for social fallout. You're right. You are right. And that a 15-minute break and a 2-hour lunch were not enough. Extremely, I'm amazed you turned out as well as you did, considering the way your parents behave. Extremely, when I was her age, where age groups and friends were central, enormous. Yeah, I mean, it's your teens, man. They told me that they were looking out for her. No, they're making her codependent, and she should only study and come back home. Is this real? I mean, they've gone off the deep end, man. They've gone off the deep end. Your parents. Even worse, they told me that she would turn out like me otherwise. A cursed conduct disordered child who has the same rules but frequently ran away from home or became sneaky. Well, you had to. Your parents are fucking psycho-draconian overlords. Your parents are a mess, and it's on you to look out for your sister. Do everything you can do. You be with her. You be her friend. You talk to her, and try to make her understand that, your parents have her best interest at heart, but they are fucking clueless as to how that should be done. Man, that sucks. Again, we talked about this. Shitty mom. In this case, shitty mom, shitty dad. For whatever reason. They might just be terrible parents. They might have some deep-seated thing where they're like, okay, this needs to happen because this happened before with you. But honestly, man, shit. Ugh, anyway. What a fucking shit show these parents are. Shit show. There you go. All right, listen, everyone. I've had a great time as always. I'm going to cut out. Well, let me see. Maybe there's one more. I might do one more. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, just fucking, ugh. The thing with autism or just kids in general is the biggest issue autistic kids have, if that's what she is, well, not the biggest, but one of, is social. Trying to make friends, trying to know what's sarcasm and what's real, trying to understand the nuances of conversation, the dance that is human behavior and communication. And they need to practice that like everything else. And when you take that away from them, you create socially awkward adults, man, even if they're not on the spectrum. Ugh. Am I the asshole for calling out my sister when her kids ask me for money? Maybe. How long is this one? I don't want to read a fucking long one. Oh, look at that. No way. You're the asshole for writing such a long. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not wanting my 20-year-old daughter's girlfriend at our house all the time? Girlfriend, or girlfriend like friend? Just curious. Maybe not. I don't know. Do you like her? Let's see. My daughter has a girlfriend. Okay. Cheeky bow wow. To get this out of the way, I have absolutely no issue with her having a girlfriend. Okay, great. I feel exactly the same for her boyfriend. Okay. The issue, well, she's 20. She's not 12. She's 20. She's an adult, 18. But all right, we'll continue. The issue is that I just don't want another person in the house all the time. Our house is already crowded. Why don't they go to her place? Her friend's place sometime. I'd like to know a little more about that. I live with my wife, my daughter, my stepdaughter, and another stepdaughter. Okay, is about to move back in, so it's very busy. The house, I already get it. The house is messy. My daughter's room is usually a disaster, and sometimes I just want. So you're overcrowded. Basically, is what's going on. And you're getting a little claustrophobic, if I'm reading this right. I just want to be able to exist in my own house without another guest being there. My daughter's argument is basically, we don't bother you, we just stay in my room. That's a good argument. And she's right, see? They're not running around screaming, eating food, causing problems, but somehow just knowing, here you go. This is a you problem. Just knowing there's another person in the house throws me off. That's a you problem. If you can't see it, you can't hear it, and it still bothers you, that's a you problem. That's not them, that's you. Now you need to examine, why is that you? Why does knowing that, why do you obsess on that? Maybe you'll tell us as we go, but so they're not doing anything wrong. I don't completely relax when there's a guest here. All right, so now we've narrowed it down to guest, even if I barely see them. All right, that's there's your issue right there. There's also another part of this. This is what I was waiting for. That I'm wondering if I'm being unreasonable about. Maybe not. Probably you are. My daughter and her girlfriend just got back from an 8-day vacation together. Well, you should have been stoked. That's 2 less people in the house. You should be raring to go to have some company. And now she immediately wants her over again. Well, yeah, they're in love. When you're in love with someone, you want to spend every minute with them. That's how it's supposed to work. My daughter hardly goes out with her other friends. Why would she? She's with her girlfriend and doesn't really have hobbies or much. Her hobby is her girlfriend and other social life outside of her girlfriend. From my perspective, that relationship seems to consume almost all of her free time. There's the issue. It's not that her girlfriend's over all the time and stays in a room. Well, it is, but it's not because she's there. It's because what it represents. It represents your daughter too involved with one person at the expense of everything else. That's the conversation you need to have with your daughter that you're not having. And at least get that out on the table, because that's what's going on here. I don't dislike the girlfriend, but you dislike the situation. I'm not trying to break them up. And I realize my daughter's 20 and gets to decide how she wants to spend her time. Well, it doesn't seem like you do. But I do worry about her making one person. Yeah, here you go. I told you, her entire social life. Mostly, though, I just want fewer people in my damn house. No, that last line's bullshit. The only thing is I don't worry about making one person her entire social life. That's it. The other one is just a bullshit aside, so you can not focus on the real issue, which you just fucking stated. My daughter thinks I'm being unfair because they keep to themselves. You are, because you're not addressing the real issue that you have, and you're giving her this nonsensical one. So am I the asshole for limiting how often a girlfriend can come over? No, you're not. You're not an asshole for that, but you need to have a conversation with her about the real problem that she's overly obsessed with this in your mind, because it's all in your mind. Maybe that she needs to why doesn't she have other hobbies? Why doesn't she do this? But again, she's in love, man. I mean, all they do is hang out all the time. I mean, yeah, generally you're going to go out and do other things. I think you might be exaggerating a little bit, but I don't know. I'd have to see it, honestly. But you're not the asshole, but you need to address the elephant in the room, which you're not, which is to have that talk with your daughter, that you think she's obsessed with this person and maybe not in a real relationship with this person. But again, without seeing it in myself, I'm just going off what you say, and you don't even have the clarity to know what the real issue is. So, everything you say is kind of tainted with that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right. And there you go. All right, folks, listen, I love y'all. I'm going to hit the road. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. And I will be back tomorrow with more shenanigans and answering your questions. Thank you again for tuning in, everybody. Tell your friends, tell your family, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Rumble, for letting me do the show here. I so appreciate it. And as always, everybody, remember, if you've got a problem, and upon rising, thank you, by the way. And now I want to go to Dollywood. I really do. I don't know why I do. Yeah, I like going to places like that. All right, folks, have a great evening. God bless you. And remember, folks, if you have a problem, I've got an answer. I am Jeff, the unlicensed therapist. God bless you and be good to each other. Bye.